And Satana did let me know she's coming. She might be 3 or 4 minutes late.
To talk.
All right. Good evening. The Benton Harbor Brownfield Redevelopment Authority will now come to order. We have a roll call.
Satana Warren. Again, she indicated she might be a few minutes late. Mary Alice Adams.
Present.
Ivy Chandler. Emma Kennard. Paul Tony.
Present.
James Bennett Jr.
Here.
James Childs. Emma Hall.
Here.
We do have a quorum.
Thank you. Now, when Paul Tony said presence, it sounded so good. When I say presence, does it sound out? Because I do talk softly. Does it come out?
I
Y'all
can hear you
me?
just fine. Yep.
Okay. As long as y'all hear me. That sounded really good, Mr. Tony. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Review of minutes. Motion to approve. Need. Any questions, comments, concerns about the view of minutes? Hearing none. Roll call, Teresa.
Adams.
Yes.
Chandler. Kennard. Tony.
Yes.
Bennett.
Yes.
Hull.
Yes.
Minutes are approved 5-0.
Thank you.
5, 6. Sorry,
Communications.
6. So at the time of the packet, we didn't have any communication, but I have since received some. So Ms. King, there was, as you guys are all aware, she has her Kings Court housing development, and as noted in the January minutes, previously the board had approved a $25,000 loan to be repaid in 5 years with annual payments of $5,000 plus 1.5% simple interest. And the loan would be secured through a bond. There were some discussions of different means of financial assurance. Since that time, there was a permit that needed to be in place for electrical issues. So I told Ms. King I wasn't going to work on that anymore and expend the board's resources until that was set in place and in good standing. And I've received documentation that everything is on file with the city. I just received that yesterday. Ms. King and I spoke today. Instead of a bond, the board would like to consider, Ms. King would like the board to consider, and she's here if you have any questions for her, a warrant of attorney to confess judgment. I'm not personally familiar with that document, but essentially what it does is it's a legal document that grants a lawyer the ability to make a judgment on behalf of their client. So essentially, they can admit liability for a debt. So if the board feels like this is acceptable, then essentially this should all be reviewed by your legal counsel. So I have not prepared that loan agreement yet until we knew which way we were moving forward, because we all know he has an expensive bill rate, even though he does reduce it for you. So I guess I wanted to note that this communication has been received, and if you want me to move forward with that, I can put it in place, and I would recommend having legal counsel review that.
Okay. Ms. King, we did have public comments, but since she brought it up and you're there, you can do it now. Ms. King. She's got to go back to work. She's got to go back to work.
Thank you. I don't know if I have too much more to add than what Teresa said. Me and her were in conversation today, and so this additional, this tool will help to ensure that if default would happen, that it would provide the assurance that the board was requesting for repayment. And so I'm asking for the consideration of that. And again, I spoke with Teresa, and she did share that she would talk to legal counsel in regarding this.
Let me say this, and then you can speak. I want Mr. Little to stand, because we're on camera, and I want everybody to see him, because we are having a housing initiative, and he has been going to meetings. You're not standing. I want you to stand, so people can see you on the computer,
camera.
on the camera. We have been having a housing initiative. When he came here, everybody said, we need housing. He put a pin in it. He said, okay, I'm going to work to get us some housing. He's been working with Habitat, he's been working with Prairie, and he's been working with the city housing authority that we work with. And because we're having a housing initiative, he's been working with you. You told me. He's came to you. He's been working with you because he want to bust this housing initiative out. He's got land. He just talked to me. He's got land that he's going to get it ready so that people start buying it so we can put houses on it, to put it back on the tax roll. I really, really, really appreciate it. I live here, and I want to see all this going. I got to thank the mayor, the city commissioners, this Brownfield. I ain't got to you yet. This Brownfield board for all the input that they did for the housing initiative, and I just have to thank Mr. Little for all the hard work. He just don't come to this meeting. Don't you be around to all these other meetings to make it happen. And I want to thank Ms. King for her part in this housing initiative. I want to thank Teresa for her part for helping making this come to fruition. And I really, really, really got to thank this board. You can say, oh, thank you, you did sit down. We got to thank this board because with our part, if we don't have a quorum, we can't do business. And they come religiously. Now, we got 2 on the end just got here, so that's letting them know to keep coming. But the rest of them been coming religiously to make things happen for this community. And I'm so proud of our city. I'm so proud of our mayor. I'm so proud of our commissioners. I'm so proud of our city manager. I'm so proud of Teresa. I'm so proud of the Brownfield board. And I'm so proud of you citizens out there helping make a difference in our community. I just can't thank you enough. Now, she gonna talk all day. Now, let me say this. She's my favorite. We want to be out of here.
There are no favorites.
We want to be out of here by 5.
Okay, so may I?
We want to be out here by 5.
So let me
Okay,
start
bye.
by thanking you, Madam Chair, for we've sat here since 2002, and I've spent every bit of that taking care of the business of the city, and I've rarely missed a meeting.
That's right.
I've spent 12 years prior to Mr. Little coming back, fighting for the properties that the county receives to keep them over here to do this type of initiative. And if you all got the email that I sent, it actually has some information in it that I wish that you would take a look at your leisure and familiarize yourself with the conversation, because it's still a real thing that needs to take place. Because of we're not in a landlocked. We need development. We need housing. It's been an honor to be a part of a $500 million decision that a lot of people didn't care about, but it has brought money into this community. And I'm looking around now that I see the snow has melted, and I've been down here so busy that I didn't realize how messy it really was, and it's really disheartening for the time that I have spent in this community doing what I have, bringing about fighting for medical marijuana that may be disappearing, so those that didn't want it can figure out ways to generate some money, because it's happening. It's about to disappear. And not only that, it created jobs, added to our tax base, and then the city income tax. I have sat in this as a board member and watched us held at bay from doing a lot of things, especially when it comes to training our people in their own community. I have joined in the course of the past 8 years, sat on the state of Michigan legislative committee to change the laws of this Brownfield, to do the things that this young lady right here is standing before us, sitting before us to do. And those homes that chairman seats of planning economic development for the city of Benton Harbor to hold on to rehab, to rebuild, to train our youth to do something with a hammer other than using it against each other. And these are things that need to take place. What I would like to see is an attorney that we pay come before us and introduce themselves,
Okay.
as well as the business at hand. Would be a great time for him to come back and introduce himself to this board with that information that she's requesting.
So I share the sentiments, so I want to just thank everybody that's a part of this board. I said, just want to thank everybody. I said, I share the same sentiments, thanking everybody that's a part of the board, that the support that Kings Court have received, thanking the mayor, the city manager, just Teresa. We were able to meet today and to look at the document, so I just want to thank everyone for the continued support, so, thank you.
Thank you.
So, if I'm understanding this correctly, instead of a bond, we will use, what is it called? Well, she's requesting that we use.
A warrant of attorney, I think it's a warrant of attorney to confess judgment.
Which means then that we loan you this money, if you default, then we don't have to go to court to get it done.
Correct.
Is that what that means?
That's my understanding.
Yes.
I'm not familiar with this,
Yes.
so I do want to
Yeah.
make that clear. That's why we would seek legal guidance.
The judgment, there will be an automatic judgment against me, and then,
And then we would, what,
it would be this,
take possession of the property
correct.
or whatever
Eh,
covers that debt?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So now, I don't know, you guys, I'm still like this. I don't have a lot of experience here, but this was agreed on in January, right? How long does something like this usually take? Because, you know, the background, I mean, the backbone of America is small business. You know, they get things done. They get things done. Small business. She's been getting it done. Here we are in March, and we still doing this? So, I guess what I'm getting at is, if we've approved it as a board, let's get this off. We have to keep coming back to it. So, it's just, all I'm saying is, can we expedite this so that we don't come back to this next month? Or, and given our board member, our fellow board member, idea, consideration, since you'll have to consult with the attorney, if maybe, because I've never met the attorney or seen the attorney either, I don't know if we need to, but if he could then come back and confirm that this has been done, and we can see who he is. But if we could get this expedited.
Okay, 30 seconds. 30 seconds. And that's just basically, why do we even have to pay the attorney to do that when all we have to do is put within the document that if it's breached, that it just reverts back to this board?
Okay, what's the question, Teresa?
It's always recommended that legal contract documents are reviewed by your legal counsel. I am not an attorney. I am not a loan underwriter. This board has not done this type of loan agreement before. So out of all the agreements you're entering into, this one especially, I would highly recommend that you have him review. I can certainly request for him to come down here. He's in Grand Rapids, I believe is his office. So typically, when we have him review documents, him and I discuss either via email or we set up a Zoom meeting if we need to, and then I relay that information back to the board. That would be the most cost-effective, but if you would like to see him so he can explain it to you,
No,
okay. So I do just want to mention that once we have this formal agreement in place that the lawyer has reviewed, you do need to take action on that agreement. So far, we've kind of said, this is the process we want to approve, but then we need the actual contract in place, and that contract needs action and signatures on it.
okay.
So if what I'm hearing is the board wants me to put this document together and have the lawyer review it,
No, she said she don't hope, she hopes we won't be here
But
again
it's
next
okay.
month.
No, we can have a special meeting if need be.
It's already been passed,
If we have enough people, if we have a quorum, yeah.
but didn't we already pass it?
you approved the concept. We've never done this before, so we don't have a template to
Okay.
work with. So I will put this in place. As I indicated, there was a pause because this board has a policy in place, which is a best
right.
practice, that everything has to be in order with the city building department before you
Right.
extend any funds. So that's
Absolutely.
why there was a long pause.
Right.
I did not want to expend this board's resources until I had documentation of that, which now has been received.
We had a missed meeting, so,
Okay.
yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Mr. Little, I do want you to stand and tell us about, if they can hear, about all the initiative. I want to, yeah, no. Since she's up there with the housing initiative, I went around in this city, I have been locked in. Give me a chance, I ain't been outside. Everything.
Take a ride when you leave here. You the one that was talking about did you see what time it is?
All the good things that's going
Come
on.
we-
Okay. All right.
I just have a question. This warrant of attorney to confess, is that what it's called, you said?
Yes.
That we're going to have this attorney review. In the event of a default, then what property do we have to go after? Are we going after a specific property in the event of a default, or we go after the whole, what's the collateral that you're putting forth
So
for
the
this?
loan amount is only 25,000. So I guess I'm not sure on how we'd work out the
Yeah,
collateral.
it can be different ways, like it could be a wage garnishment, it could be, bank account. Yeah, it could be, so there would be, the board or the city would actually, I would really be shooting myself in the foot if I, big time, if I defaulted. Yeah, because that would mean that you guys had the ability to take your pick pretty much of what you could actually go after, because there will be a confession of judgment already in place.
Okay, and the 25K, is it specifically earmarked for a particular parcel of land or house, or
I
what?
think there's 4,
This was allocated for the King Court property, so.
yeah, so that was, is it 4 parcels? So this board has been working on supporting this project in different forms for a long time, I think over a year. So the board did already issue a $150,000 grant. So it's for the whole project as a whole, which I believe was 4 properties, but I don't recall right offhand. And then this is an additional loan now for $25,000, again, for the same development.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you guys so much for your time.
So how are we gonna proceed here?
The attorney.
The
What's
attorney.
happening?
I will put the loan agreement together in place with the documentation that Ms. King sent me and have the lawyer review all of it. Presuming he can get that done in time, it should be at your next monthly meeting for review.
Sorry, the price of wood and everything is still rising.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. King. Now, that was communication. Now it's,
Gentlemen wanted.
that was communication.
Correct. So now, that's the only communication item.
Okay, do me one favor, Therese, and say again what's that, uh, thing she wants to use? What is it called?
Warrant of attorney to confess judgment. I believe that's what it's called.
You got it?
Yep.
Okay. This portion is open for public comments. We'd ask you state your, come to the podium, state your address, and have your comments, name and address. Public comments. This portion is open for public comments. Public comments. State your name and address. Thank you. And it says on the agenda, 3 minutes, please. Thank you.
Probably be less than that. Here rather informally at this point. I just wanted to meet some of you guys and introduce myself. Some people know I got the Old Methodist Peace Temple, 275 Pipestone. So I want to introduce myself to the board and start meeting some people here and talking about some possible plans for it. It's going to need a lot of repair, as most people in the community probably know. I've been busy over the winter just trying to stabilize and prevent kind of further damage as a result of water issues. And that's had a lot of my time. But I am at the point now where I've got a little bit of time to go around and start introducing people, and especially working with the community to see what they have in mind for it. As it stands now, I'm hoping to make it a community hub where it can serve maximum use and potential to a diverse interest to the community. That's kind of what it's been for a long time. So as its current steward, that's kind of what I'd like to keep it to be. It's a very large building. There's going to be some need to see to the economic sustainment. So I'm trying to figure out ways to partner, ways to bring in money to support and repair the building. Kevin Holmes. Yep. Alongside being able to then serve very low cost or free, when possible, community access to the building. So that's going to be complicated and emergent. But as it stands now, I'm hoping to make the school is more or less. I've got some plumbing to do to fix the bathrooms. More or less able to be open to the public to use as classrooms or meeting spaces pretty soon. The old banquet hall, I'm hoping to be able to make accessible. But it would be nice to renovate that part as quickly as possible to be able to offer maybe like a co-working space for community initiatives where people can get places like maybe the unions or things that align in the community vision can use the classrooms for trainings and rent those out and then make it for initiatives that don't have the money free to use those classrooms in off times. I'm hoping some nonprofits or something like that that are aligned with community missions would be able to rent offices on the upper part of that. Generally make the space available to people who share a community-oriented vision. I have my own, I'm formerly a general contractor for residential renovation, but I have my own passions in community building and organization as well that I feel could use a building, so I just went and got, more or less, tried to create one that can align with a vision that I have in mind. Sure. I think I got possession about mid-November. with roofing problems, that's why I was immediately engaged with stabilization due to the roofing problems. So. Yes.
Could you give me the pronunciation of your last name? It's Steve, the first.
Kevin.
Kevin,
My
right.
last name is Holmes.
Holmes.
Yep,
Kevin.
it's got an L in there, but
Okay.
pronounces the same with or without.
Well, can I use your first name?
Yes.
Kevin. Kevin, I'm familiar with the building.
Mm-hmm.
And for years, there's been leaks there. Lots of mold is in, especially on the old side, as well so as in the sanctuary there on the other side, the newer side.
Mm-hmm.
How long do you think that will it be a health risk for it to be used before you get all of that addressed, or are you going to just do one side and try to work that, and then you're making that known to us? What are you looking for from us?
The answer to both is the same. We are able, because of the way the building is set up, to work on one half and not the other. As the mold issue is still present. There was a considerable amount of water in the basement, and I haven't had a chance to get in to abate that yet. Every surface is essentially still covered in mildew. That's going to be quite a project down there, and it really lacks the HVAC to control humidity in an ongoing way. But that is separate from the school. The school, we were up there with propane torches mid-December, trying to patch the roof where we could to keep further moisture from coming in. And we largely, there's only one leak left over the school portion, and I don't see anything coming in over the chapel or banquet hall yet. We haven't had liquid water for very long, but so far so good. In which case, the carpets aren't in great shape now. There's going to be a lot of plaster work. But other than that, in the school, there's no significant persistent mildew and mold issue over there. Once everything's dried and repaired and painted, it should be safe to occupy.
In the little banquet area, that leak that was at the wall there have been fixed?
Yep. The roof side of it, not the ceiling side of it, below. So we'll need to repair the plaster there and in several spots. But there's no ongoing mildew damage. We got that dried up, thankfully, in December. Like I said, a lot of propane tanks and propane torches on one of those 4 days where it got just above freezing, to use silicone. Yeah. Actually, I don't know if I fully finished answering you. So what I need from what it's going to take to get both of those sides done is kind of figuring out the long-term plan and how I'm going to finance it, which also answers the question of what I want from the board. Fairly obviously is going to be funding and money.
Thank you
Yeah.
for coming and introducing yourself and sharing some of the plans that you'd like to see for that property. I had put forth the initiative to purchase it, and tear it down and prepare a whole area for housing. But anyway, we are where we are. Do you have personally any grant writers, any that you know that you could put together a team or what have you? Because I do have some advisors and some technical support available through grant writers with the Justice 40 initiative that would be more than happy that I'd like to introduce you to help with any endeavors that you can, and especially you can possibly help us with some job training stuff being a contractor with that area with so many children.
Yeah. Yeah, I would appreciate.
That's the second ward? Yeah.
Yeah. I'd appreciate any help. I have been networking for a while along a broad set of interests that overlap with this throughout the state to try to be able to bring in resources. Not that they're not here, but we could always use more. But as of yet, I have no I've had some people visiting, but I have no formal board or team set, though there are several people I'm talking to. So anyone you have, especially anybody that knows anyone locally that might be
Want to get
interested.
with you and we can plan
Yep.
a meeting, a
Yep.
community meeting, hopefully with maybe your ward.
Yes. Now I have at least one functioning bathroom and dry roofs, and so
doesn't
my
have
hope
to be
now is to
here.
focus on meeting with
It doesn't have to be
everyone.
there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And you'll be happy to know, I think the building is worth saving. Actually, my great-grandparents would have been the ones
Yeah.
attending there when it was rebuilt after the fire. I didn't know that when I got it, but, yeah.
Thank you.
And I'm also very interested in housing and job creation.
Thank
That's
you.
part of what I want the building for.
Thank you. Okay.
What's the address of this facility? What's
You
the
wanna say
address?
something? Okay, anybody else have anything?
Yes, so you have both those buildings? You got the church building and that school building across the lot?
They're connected.
They're connected.
Yeah, they were done in two phases. They are technically one building and connected. Yeah.
So we're talking on the same side?
Yeah.
I have the whole parcel, yeah, that
Thank you.
square block, yep.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, Commissioner Warren?
you. So I heard renting offices to nonprofits, but I feel like I'm not hearing anything specific. And even if you're looking for like grant funding, I think you'll need something kind of specific for the other parts of the building. So have you had like a forum where people gave ideas? Have you already done that piece?
No, I'm looking forward to doing that. That's one of the reasons I wanted to get the building so that I could have people in. I'm very about appealing directly to residents and workers and having them come in and encourage and train and give some ideas for alternative ways to develop not just this property, but others that are directly driven by the community as well as, yeah.
I think everybody is excited for something positive to
Yes.
happen with that building. So I'm definitely willing to come to meetings or help or give ideas or whatever you need. You can reach out to me. And if you you can get my contact information from the site or I can give it to you after the meeting.
I'd love to talk to you after the meeting, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Just a moment. We'd like for you to know, and we're excited about you being here, but this board, the Brownfield Board, is an arm of the city. And we work totally in conjunctions with the city and what they have on the program. Mr. Little is here as the city manager, and if you do a development, application development with Brownfield, we cannot go outside of, as a board, of what the city is doing or working with, because we are arm of the city. We cannot do anything on our own to pay you, to have you to do anything, because there is an initiative going on also, and we don't want the same thing maybe. Mr. Little, you do have an initiative with the Armory that we're doing some things. Another hub here, right? And if long as you work with the city and how the city development, and then they bring the recommendation back to us, we will do all we can to try to help you with the recommendation of what the city has as their program. We don't want to bump heads for funds or nothing else like that. So, but we're standing here ready to help any initiative that comes in as it comes to the city, because we are an arm of the city. We are autonomy, but we don't do anything for you on our own. We appreciate you. You're welcome to our community. Mr. Little's giving you that information. And thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Use that.
Yeah.
I think you're going to be another Miss Commissioner. He talks a real long time and real good. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I've been excited to come introduce myself and help the city for a long
Okay.
time. So I'll see you guys around. Thank you.
Thank you.
We do not have any committee reports. So since we did not have a meeting in February, you do have both January and February financial statements in your packet. So I'll just go over the February as the most recent unless there's a question. So currently, as of February 28th, in the checking account, there is a balance of $788,107.92. In the money market account, which is essentially your LBRF, it's $220,269.56. And so that brings the total assets to a little over $1 million. I did want to point out on your statement of income and expense for February that it is recorded a little over 17,000 in property tax revenue. We haven't actually received that check yet. It's supposed to be issued by the city sometime in March. So I will let you know when I get it, but it is recorded on here. We've earned interest about $277. And then it shows the Plant Moran invoice for February of $575, the Fishbeck invoice for $1642. We didn't have any legal invoices this month. Yes.
Support.
I have a question while we have Mr. Little here. A lot of people don't know the history, but right when Mayor Mohammed took the position of mayor, there was a great falling out between me and some other family members that had been the mayor. And it had everything to do with the dialysis property that I was fully aware of as a board member, that property should not, it was a piece of mitigated property that was traded over with the Harbor Shores thing, and the property was contaminated too. And just recently, over the course of the last year and a half, they were down there doing some cleaning. And my thing then was I knew that we were not going to be able to get any funds, grant funding, to do other things in the community because of that development being traded off the way it was. And I'm glad that you're fixing it, Mr. Little. Mm-hmm. However, my question is, is this Brownfield Authority Board, because I really don't remember actually seeing the initial development agreement, that we have been paying them back some of whatever, I just never saw the document.
Is
But
that
we-
related to what you're seeing here in the financial
Well,
statement?
it has been for the last few years. But is there something legally, I guess, I'm trying to see, are we obligated to actually pay them back anything on their investment due to, I don't know,
If I might,
because this has always been problematic to me in my mind.
You
I don't-
understand what she's talking about, Mr. Little?
if you're referring to a separate brownfield agreement with the developers of the dialysis center. Is that, is that what you're referring to? Payments here that are going back to them? Yeah.
Piece of mitigated property
Yeah.
that was not supposed to be
Yeah.
utilized for what it was utilized for.
Yeah, your contract with them would still be good, and the answer would be yes. But just to briefly summarize so everybody knows what we're talking about, when the package was put together and completed with Harbor Shores for the golf course, they wanted to use, I believe it's something like 13 acres or something like that, to do that, those last 3 holes. And a deal was made that was approved by DNR and National Park Service for them to use a part of Gene Clark Park, the part that leads to the green that's up on top of the sand dune there, in exchange for a number of properties. They normally would not split it up into a bunch of pieces like this, but for whatever reason, they did do that. Now, the timing on that was this took place right about the time that Joe Harris came in as the emergency manager. He made the deal for setting aside these mitigated properties that included the dialysis center location, the property right behind it, and about 11 other pieces around the city. 2 years later, I believe almost 2 years later, the second emergency manager came in, and he was the one that made the deal to put the dialysis center on that location. I'm not sure whether he realized that that was a part of that mitigation or not, but nevertheless, he did it, and he was empowered to act for the city. The city had no vote, no say, no discussion, no nothing about it. It's one signature was all it took because he had the power of the state behind him. As a result of that, this city has not been able to apply for any recreational money through DNR, the National Park Service, since about 2015, about the same time we got in trouble with the water thing. Now, what we're doing right now is working with 2 or 3 other organizations here in the city to try to come up with a satisfactory piece of property or properties that we can submit to National Park Service and DNR in exchange for that, that would then take us off that list and enable us to again begin able to pursue grants. But that's what's, barring that you may not ever come off of it. It's the only way to do it. There are a number of things that were done that put the city in a bind from that period. Most of them nobody's ever touched, and I've had to kind of identify them and start dealing with them one by one to try to get us back to where we need to be.
If I may, because I don't know, it would probably do us good if the new members have a list of the Brownfield Authority Board properties. And I think that I requested, it's been quite some time too, and not just from this board, but all of the mitigated pieces of property so that we know where they are.
Thank you, Commissioner Adams. Teresa?
Just a reminder, we have a motion on the floor regarding approving the January and February financial statements. No, we have a motion, and then we kind of went over here.
Any other questions? Any other questions or concern? Hearing none, roll call.
Warren,
Yes.
Adams,
Yes.
Chandler,
Yes.
Kennard,
Yes.
Tony,
Yes.
Bennett,
Yes.
Hull.
Yes,
Motion carries 7-0.
thank you. Teresa?
Okay, now we have our March payables listing. So again, our meeting in February was canceled, so you will see items that originally would have been on that agenda as well as this month. So for Plant Moran, we have 2 invoices, one for the preparation of January financial statements and one for the preparation of February. For Fishbeck, you'll see 3 invoices. We have both our January and February Brownfield Advisory Services, and then also the EPA Brownfield Grant application. The last item on here is a reimbursement to Blue Star 14 LLC that has already been approved by this board. The check was just never distributed. That was an oversight. So just a reminder to this board, and especially for the new members' benefit, when we have these brownfield plans in place, the plan itself will detail eligible activities and associated budgets with those that would be recommended by this board and approved by the city commission. Then, once that's in place, the redevelopment occurs. Then the developer is responsible for submitting invoices and documentation that they did in fact incur these costs and proof of payment. So all of that review has already taken place. I did include those attachments just in case those were a question, but those were already approved. And then this is just issuing of the board check. And I did confirm with the finance director that this check has not been issued yet.
For the benefit of the new board members, the chair always asks for a motion to approve in a second. Then, so when you have discussions, the discussion should only be on the item that we're talking about, which is what's on the agenda. The other things we don't need to discuss on this specific item or any specific item. Once we had a motion to approve, then you can discuss it, this item, and vote it up or vote it down. So now we need a motion to approve.
One question, would it be in order for me to ask the question to get a clear understanding? What is Blue Star LLC?
Just a moment, I just stated that. Once we get the motion and get it approved, then you can ask your question.
Make a motion to approve.
Need a second.
Now she can answer the question.
Need a second?
Second.
Okay, thank you. Now, Ms. Sharp, you can ask your question.
My question. The Blue Star LLC.
That is the developer entity for 353 West Main Street. And there is a reimbursement agreement in place. All the invoices were submitted and approved and checked to be in alignment with that reimbursement agreement. So that was approved April 11th, 2024.
Was that the property that, the old iron?
You have the floor.
Sorry, Madam Chair.
I'd like to know exactly where this is located to. You say on Main Street, 353 West Main. I'm trying to picture in my mind what the, yes.
Say it again, what are you saying?
I'm saying this location, is there a structure there or what? Is there,
The old iron gate, the property that was torn down, that came before us, that we gave approval for to clean up for redevelopment.
okay.
Do you want to?
That was, you brought that forward, didn't you? Okay. I just want to get clear because, and all that getting is the Bible said, get an understanding. That's what I want. So it may seem like I'm ignorant, but I'm not ignorant. I want to get a clear understanding. Thank you.
You're right, Madam Chair, you're right. I'll let Teresa do her job from here on out.
That's exactly right.
'Cause I
Thank
think
you,
we were all
Commissioner.
present.
So this, the way that it's set up, it will require a transfer from the LBRF into the checking account. Again, we have a few signatories, so I'm not able to do that at a staff level. We will need one of the signatories to go to the bank to make that transfer.
Okay, thank you. All right, any other questions on the payable? Hearing none, roll call, Teresa.
Warren,
Yes.
Adams,
Yes.
Chandler, Kennard,
Yes.
Tony,
Yes.
Bennett,
Yes.
Hull. Motion carries 7-0.
Yes.
And did I not call you? Okay, thank you. Sorry. In case anyone needs to leave early, I did put the checks on your desk. Obviously, I don't want them signed before they're approved.
All
I
business?
see a misprint on your agenda. I apologize. This other motion about Plant Moran should not be there. Recommended motion,
Okay,
if that's on the copy you guys have in front of you.
It is.
yeah.
So that's not supposed to be here.
No, I mean, those are just the recommended motions to help you with what you make. So it's not listed as an agenda item. Okay, so next we have our board strategy planning survey update. So this board did direct myself to send a survey to the board, which I did. We had 6 responses, including the one I did over the phone with Ms. Hull. So essentially, the main takeaways are, as far as when people want to have it, we kind of have a split voice. We have a couple people who have flexible schedules and no preference. A couple that feel that the regular meetings are already quite lengthy and prefer keeping it during our meeting, but could accommodate something else with advance notice. Chair Hull had brought up another suggestion that I had not considered when I put the survey together, which would be hold it at the exact time of our meeting, but not have a meeting, a separate agenda. So we would just do the retreat or strategy planning during that time. Ms. Warren did respond back to me saying that she would be in favor of that option. We had one person say only during meetings and one person prefer during meetings if it was spread out. So it sounds like that's more of the consensus. As far as topics, people were really interested in all of them. The top 2 were board strategy planning regarding use of available funds and Act 381 compliance, what the authorities allowed or prohibited to do. But we had almost as many responses for Brownfield 101 education, housing tax increment financing, developing an LBRF policy in alignment with city goals and objectives in the master plan. We had less interest in understanding the role with specific city boards. So I think we don't really need to go into the next question, because that was talking about which boards.
Read that one again. What was that?
Yes, but the majority of that question was, I'm not interested in understanding the BRA's role in relation to specific city boards as a topic for a board retreat. But we did have a couple responses for Downtown Development Authority, a couple for City Commission, one for Economic Development and Parks and Rec, and a couple for Legislative Committee. Everyone understands it would be subject to Open Meetings Act and require all of those notifications. We had an exact split as far as timing of the event. 3 people would prefer that it's 2 hours or less, and 3 people preferred a full retreat, which is 6 to 8 hours. Now, if we're doing it during meeting time, that would fall under the 2 hours or less. The time that's chosen obviously dictates how much we can cover. I do recommend that we kind of streamline what we want on the agenda, and if needed, we could always hold another session.
Okay,
Questions?
I guess I'm kind of confused because I heard Teresa mention something about some other boards with parks and recs and all of that. What was that?
So most people said that was not a top priority for them for the board retreat, but that was one of the questions, was if you wanted to have an update from those boards and understand your role specific to those boards.
Let's do, first she asked about, what time do we want to have the meeting? And then we
Right.
want to, next, what we want to discuss at the meeting. Now, time.
Well, she said
I-
half the people wanted less than 2 hours or less, and half wanted 6 to 8 hours.
All right. So
Yes, definitely.
what you recommend?
During our,
Well, if it's
after
half
our
and half,
meeting?
we got to get that split out. What is it? We can vote right now. We can just say what we want right now. Half and half.
I would like to see a full retreat, as I see the need for one with so many new members.
Okay.
And
A Saturday or something like that?
Now, she wants to see a full retreat. What do you want to see?
Because of my schedule, I would like to see the 2 hours, and then we could always have another one.
Or retreat.
2 hours.
full retreat.
Full retreat. 2 hours.
I think we had 4 and 3 this time.
Full retreat.
But
We don't need nothing else on there.
don't we
Okay,
need to
so-
choose a day
We
of a
ain't got-
given
We're
week?
not there yet.
Oh,
We're not there yet. Yes, ma'am.
So the top 2 topics were board strategy planning regarding use of available funds and Act 381 compliance, what the authority is allowed and prohibited to do. Based on the discussion rates that we typically have with this board, I think that could take 6 hours. We could add a third subject if you desire, but there may be enough to work with there. We could also say, let's have a third one if we have time to get there.
Recommendation as chair. 381 is what we really need to know and to dissect while we out here talking to these people about if we can give them money, if we can build them a house, if they can come and get this. We need to really work with that. Now, how long you say to give us training on Act 381?
I can make it as short as long as you want
Okay.
it.
All right, well, we got us, what, 6 hour? Now, that would be my recommendation for number 1.
if I'm,
Next, you want, what you want now?
I mean, she's our consultant.
Well,
We,
but
we,
no,
we,
she gave
wait,
us topics.
wait, I understand that. We have topics, but she knows the act better than any of us, and it's really not necessary for us to know it through and through, because as long as I've been here, I don't, because I've fought for changes. And there are people that are constantly fighting for changes within the Brownfield Act of 381. So with our consultant knowing exactly what it is, she can just give us the basics of what we need to know, just like when we're in the public speaking about being a Brownfield Authority Board member.
That's exactly why I feel like if the board members are informed with Act 381 of what you can and can't do, when you are out speaking with the public or someone comes up to me, comes up to you, you can know the types of support that you could offer or maybe wouldn't be a right fit.
Okay, but I would say as a board member speaking in public, period, I can give somebody my opinion, and my opinion would be to do exactly what this young man did, to come here and present himself and set a time to find out what his project can and cannot be fulfilled with this board or this authority. But I'm talking about speaking out in the public, and nobody, it never dawned on anybody. Why does she say that? Because when I speak in the public about I'm a Brownfield Authority Board member, and if I hold any type of position, I have to let the public know that I don't speak for the board as a whole.
Ms.
What
Adams,
we need an
yeah,
attorney for.
Adams,
Set ourselves up for a lawsuit.
yeah.
Not mindful of the things we say.
Let me say this, Commissioner Adams, in all due respect to you. You have been working with this board for almost 20-some years. We have new board members. So make your comments and make them brief directly to you and not to, because
Oh, no,
they're,
this was just basic.
okay, make it basic, because other people have just come on and they don't have the knowledge that you have sitting on this board. So now we need to know how many people would like to have that topic here. Commissioner, I'll start with the commissioner at the end. Would you like to have Act 381, what this board consists of?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Commissioner Kennard and Mr. What you call it? You know,
I'd like that
yes. Thank you.
Not the primary,
Commissioner.
most definitely.
Yeah, Commissioner, okay, that will be one of our main topics. Thank you so much.
I do, again, I don't need to know every nuance of creating one. I need to know the basics, like what we can and cannot do. What I think is even more important, though, is that we are a cohesive board with a plan and a strategy in how we will manage the funds of this board. You know, how do we proceed so that there is no, so that we are cohesive. I think that is more important in my
So
mind.
that was
That would
the
come
other
under.
top response.
That would be up under the
The
topic,
strategy.
yes, that would be up under the
So
topic.
that in saying that, I think that there are, that we could also make time to know, for me, in my mind, this is very important, to know where these brownfields are. To know which brownfields can accommodate what. I don't know where the brownfields are in the city, not all of them, I've seen some. I'm glad to see that plant is down over there on National Drive. I don't know what they're planning to do with it though, or what's going on with that. So I think, and I'm requesting a tour.
Well, we can do that after we do the training. It would be good to have a tour. That would be great. Okay, any other
Madam
topics?
Chair?
So because I've never been to a retreat, Sharice, this is a question for you. Is the format of this retreat essentially like a training session where you're teaching it? Or is this going to be a format as like our meeting where you might have 30 minutes of someone talking off topic? I'm just trying to utilize my personal time the best I can because I'm not going to have 6 to 8 hours. I'm going to have
Absolutely.
maybe 2. So is it going to be set up where like it might be 45 minutes on off topic and then we might get back on topic? Or is it set up like where you're kind of teaching it and training?
It would be a combination of here's some education and then here's some discussion.
Thank you. That's an excellent point. We, as board members, have got to respect other board members. Time is very important. A lot of people can't stay no 2 and 3 hours. They have children to go home to. They got to fry their chicken when they get home. They got to go pick up kids, drop them off. An hour and no more than an hour and a half for a meeting. Just because somebody want to talk, we understand. Let's get these people in and get them out and take care of business. It don't take all day to say and do what we got to say and do. I appreciate these board members, and I appreciate their time, and I think other board members need to do the same thing. We have to respect each other. Y'all such good board members after I done talked about you. But, okay, Mr. Little.
Yes, I want to support the idea of getting started with a retreat. There is a great deal that you need to know about your brownfield process. As she's asking about where are brownfields, that's relevant for the commercial and industrial part. For the housing part, it's wherever the property is that the people own it, because there's a different legislation that works for that. And I have been waiting for the longest to try to see you get to a point where you've got those basics down, because there's a great deal more that I want to start feeding to you also. For example, one of the concerns that we have as a city is each one of these projects, when we do them, ties up the tax revenue for the next 20 to 30 years. We've still got to provide police protection and fire protection and inspections and all of the services that are necessary throughout that period of time without the benefit of revenue. Now, one way we can overcome that is, in addition to what we do in terms of the brownfield requirements, we can also establish and set up a pilot where they pay a certain amount in lieu of taxes on an annual basis throughout this period of time that helps to offset some of those costs. You need to know where and how what you're doing ties in with the planning commission and so forth. We've just finished a process of updating zoning. That's going to be very crucial to what you all do. And we need to show you how that works and what was done and why it was done. You're going to find the same thing with a variety of other tools that we use and are using on an ongoing basis. Frankly, I am the connection to all of those, Downtown Development Authority, Planning Commission, zoning, all of it. And I want to share that with you so you can understand how you can best optimize your powers and abilities to accomplish the greater objective.
Thank you, Mr. Little. I have got to say this. Do you not know this board member is saying that's long enough, he's talking long enough, don't talk no more. And she talks longer than anybody on this board. And she got the nerve to say that he's talking too long with all that good information. Now, but you said that. All right. I'm transparency. I'm transparent. I'm going to tell everything I know. When I hear it, I'm going to tell everything I know. She had the nerve to say, don't, well, you should say that to yourself. Telling everything I know.
But-
Bye.
You know what though? I really appreciate that because you know what? Mr. Little is the first person that I've ever heard say what I've actually done since I've been down here.
That's right.
I have sat and ran to all of these boards trying to find out the function and why Benton Harbor looks the way it does. And it takes you having to do something like that to find out what changes need to be made.
Thank you.
Okay, so, I mean, if we're doing a full 6+ hours, I would recommend probably having 2 subject matters. So are we doing the ones that had the top 2 response? You already confirmed you want Act 381 compliance. The next one was board strategy planning regarding use of available funds? Okay.
Okay, no, what I said was, I don't see any reason why there couldn't be a third component to that, and not just those specific 2 topics, because I think it is critical or important to me that we know what these brownfields are, whether that be simply a map of where those things are,
Will that go in with
But-
that?
but I think a
Sure.
tour would be better.
In with that, along with the tour later on.
So I don't recall what year the map was put in place, so it wouldn't have the most recent ones, but as Mr. Little indicated, it's not as simple as it once was, because it used to be just contaminated properties, and so you could put those all on a map. Now we're talking about properties that are eligible for brownfield funding, such as housing properties. And so if you just see that house, is that a brownfield? Well, it could be eligible for brownfield funding, but we don't look at it as the same way as saying that's a brownfield property to put on a map.
Absolutely, but I want to see the brownfields that are on the map, because any housing property could be a brownfield if it needs some kind of mitigation or whatever. So I'm not talking about the houses, I'm talking about what is currently in the brownfield.
You're saying which properties the city currently has brownfield plans for? Is that what you're asking?
I'm talking about what is currently now recognized as a brownfield. There's only a list. Yeah.
Well, that's where it gets tricky, because we have properties that are eligible for brownfield funding.
I'm not, okay, so what do you put on the brownfield list? What's on the brownfield list, not Mitchell, sorry.
Well, it depends. For instance, when we got started on Ox Creek, one of the first things that we did was to bring in a representative from TAB at Kansas State University. It's funded by EPA to work with us, and we went to looking at old maps going back to the 1800s to determine where service stations used to be, tanning operations used to be, that kind of thing, so that we would have some idea by virtue of what use it had in the past as to what might be brownfields. Because a lot of places that there's nothing that would give them away necessarily as a brownfield until you start digging, you know. And we can get those maps, maybe as part of the process, show you those. But continuously being
Yes, I mean, doesn't the county have, doesn't the county have, aren't we in the county's Brownfield also? Don't we have some kind of, something to do?
There's a difference.
There's a
They've got a
difference.
brownfield authority also.
Okay.
In fact, it was a county brownfield authority that was used to do harbor shores.
Okay, so what I'm speaking of are those that are identified as a brownfield. And specifically, and especially those that'll need mitigation, like gas stations, salons, those that have those underground tanks or whatever that needs to be removed or, so whatever you have identified as brownfields, yes.
So,
I can
Yes.
print a list, the state has a website where you can search any sites of known environmental contamination, leaking underground storage tanks. So if you're talking about more from a contaminated standpoints, we can get a list of those properties within the city.
And did you say then that any residential could be a brownfield?
not actually a brownfield, but it could qualify
A
for
brownfield.
Yes.
TIF brownfield financing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be contaminated to meet that regard. It could
For
be,
that new
Yeah.
process in there.
yeah.
Any other questions?
Okay.
Any other questions by the members? Okay.
Okay, so if we were holding it during the regular meeting time, that's a little bit easier to schedule. If we want to do a full day, we need to decide, like, are we doing it here? We need to make sure the room's available. If we want to do it somewhere else, we need to make sure it's somewhere that it has to be public noticed. It has to be accessible to the public. So we need to make sure the space is available. So those are things we'll have to consider.
We need to get a date too on that.
Yes.
Okay, just a moment. Anybody have anything else they want to say to that? All right, now,
Something that us seniors don't have to,
here is fine with me.
we can use our wellness center is available to us. I'll check on the.
What
date
wellness center?
Downtown.
Okay.
That's for public use.
Well, my vote is here. Next, Commissioner Warren.
I think here would be fine, because does it have to be recorded, Teresa, or no?
It
Does
doesn't have to be recorded, it just has to be noticed in advance, and it has to be open to the public.
Yeah. Okay. Where? Commissioner? Commissioner? Where?
Oh, me, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yes, I'm not real picky about that part.
Okay, Commissioner. Good night. Here are the,
I think it, here would be the best place.
Mr. Jones.
It doesn't matter. It could be here or downtown, either one.
Okay. Next.
I'm good with here.
Okay. Here.
Okay, so I'll have to look in with the city to see, I don't know how many meetings are regularly scheduled. Is there typically a full day that it's available? Yeah, okay.
I'd like to make an additional suggestion, if you would, because I think when you finish with that session, you're going to find yourself with so much information that you're going to need to, over time, do a series of them for different things. And I would love to participate with you and help get and share some of the information that you need. Like, for example, maybe a session in which I bring Mr. Reed and myself in to talk about the aspect of it that deals with the planning and zoning part and so forth. And we've got all kind of stuff going on right now dealing with high water, both flooding and the water table. That's something that has to be considered with everything you do here in this area, because you're at lake level. Lake goes up, water goes up.
I would welcome that, absolutely.
Okay, we can talk about that when we get into the training of more things that we'd like to see and as we go along, as he said. Okay.
And speaking of training, Miss, can I?
Do you want the
mention
floor?
that?
Yeah.
Speaking of training, there's an upcoming 2027 Brownfield conference. our next agenda, and that's training, that's Brownfield training. I did attend the conference in Chicago last year. Very informative, just so much, just blew my mind with all the information.
Okay, let's get through, yeah, let's get through this and, please.
So as far as days of the week that work best, we only had 2 responses. One said Friday, Saturday, or during our regular time on Thursday. The other said Saturday. Days of the week I cannot accommodate. We only had 2 responses. One was afternoons, Monday through Wednesday, and one was Sunday.
Didn't
So
already
I mean, we may be subject to when the room's available, but I don't know if we want to look for
That out.
dates or just see when it's available and
Yeah.
come back.
Or Saturday?
I thought we discussed it.
Here? Well, no, the priority was a full retreat,
It's a,
or I'm sorry, the majority.
date on when it's going to be available.
Okay.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe
Yes,
if it
yes.
was a Saturday, it could possibly be down at the wellness center, that's all, yeah.
We'll work it out and we'll see.
Or the community.
Okay, so I'll get going on kind of curriculum as we're working on dates, because that's going to take some effort to put that
Okay.
together.
Yeah.
Okay.
And say we'd like to have it here, it would be nice to have it, and y'all decide and recommend that. Make the recommendation to us, dates and times and place.
As far as days, I'm very flexible. I can, so it doesn't matter, but I think we do need to tack down a day. You know, whether it's gonna be a Saturday, the only day I cannot do, or will not do, is a Sunday. But any other day, you know, I'm very flexible. I can take a day off if I need to.
Well, I mean, a Sunday technically wasn't an option, but
New business.
we do not have any new business.
So I guess we won't discuss the youth training.
Well, so now we have member
Now.
comments, so that would be an important,
Look right there.
appropriate time.
All right. Now we have members' comments. Members' comments, we'll start with,
Mr. Bennett?
That's all right.
What's your
Mr.
name?
Bennett, James Bennett.
Mr. Bennett.
James Bennett.
Bennett. Mr. Bennett.
No, I just think having the retreat is going to be a good thing, and if, 6 to 8 hours is fine. If we can just get advance notice on the dates, so, we can clear our calendars, so we can make it happen. And like I said, Mr. Little being there, I think would be great as well, if he can join us, so he can let us know what he's involved in and how it relates to what we're doing as well, so we're all on the same page.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett, and I hope you train her to talk like that. This is Miss Adams. Say what you mean what you say, and do it in a timely manner. Thank you, Mr. Bennett.
My
Next.
schedule, I can work around whatever date during the week.
Thank you. Commissioner?
I'm flexible. So
Can be on anything, comments.
pretty much, I could work with any of it. The main thing is I need the knowledge, because
Yes.
knowledge is power.
Thank you. Commissioner Chandler?
Yes, I was earlier referring to the upcoming Brownfield Conference for 2027, which gives us plenty of time to plan and hopefully attend that. Because as I said, I found the last one very informative, and it just helped me to realize how much I don't know, and how much I need to be effective in this. So, yes, I'd like that to be considered. For board members to attend.
Commissioner Warren?
So I'm probably the least flexible. However, I can learn on my own if I need to, so I'm not really worried. but I'll definitely come for some of the time. But if it's during the week, I do have to work.
Right.
So, I'll make it happen where I can. But like I said, I can learn it on my own. And I pretty much know a lot of it anyway. But so don't worry about me. I will take care of my alerting myself. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Commissioner Adams.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, board members, for your sacrifice and volunteering to sit on this board. I've sacrificed a lot at trying to upgrade my community, and it hasn't stopped. I would hope that Mr. Little and Teresa, our consultant, will actually put forth the effort to get with the school superintendent to see how we can put together whatever it takes to get some training initiated with our youth. Since the state of Michigan has brought about the initiative of actually putting something on the state curriculum as it relates to water, soil, and air. But I again will ask this board to consider putting together a paycheck for environmentalists, possibly coming from Andrews University, to actually teach. Or I don't know what that would look like, how it would look like, but if in fact it can be done. I know that I have spent some years every Friday nearly with Andrews University from people from other countries and stuff on these environmental Fridays. And they talk about a lot of interesting stuff that our children need to actually be learning of, because our country is at war. And I don't know if any of us know any survival skills that we would need to utilize to grow something if nuclear substances are real. And I just think that we all need to be learning, especially the generation behind us that we have dropped the ball on. And right now, this board exists for trying to clean up a mess that factories have left behind. But we had, as a then previous presiding commissioner, we had been talking for years at trying to partnership with our school instead of waiting for us to come in danger of losing it or it shutting down or closing or something, but working more correspondently together with our school system. And I wish that we could make that happen. Many of you probably don't know, and it's okay. It doesn't even matter right now because I think I'm going to turn it over to somebody else. Obama's foundation has requested us to work harder at becoming a certified community. And what that entails is too much, and we don't have time right now. So I just want you all, if you keep your ears open, to just become involved. Our youth need us. And we down here making decisions for who? Some of us are closer to 100 than we are 20. That's for sure.
Mr. Bennett, you see why you need to train them? Thank you so much. Thank you for coming out, meetings. But we have people that have things to do, and we do need to respect. Now, for this conference, the only thing I need to say is, see if we can have some food there. Some food. It's going to be 6 hours. Yeah, we need to have some water, some. Chicken. We're going to go with these board members. And I say that's good. You can have chicken because we come out here, we use our gas, our time, our energy, and what have you. Have us some food. And that'll be so good. I appreciate it. Now, don't forget, y'all, but now you hear that, Mr. Little? All right. And he's going more than one piece. All right. So I thank all the board members. Mr. Hall, you came in late. We appreciate you for coming in. We came. So I just love this board and love all the people. And we're doing, and I thank all the people that come out and listen. All the, thank you so much. Adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Support. Okay, meeting is adjourned at 5:25.